Hello everyone, welcome to my living room once again and to this second video of this second half of the semester. As you can see in the syllabus today, we are meant to talk about transatlantic relations and overview. So we're going to divide this class in two videos only. First I'm going to talk about the common ground and the current issues. I'm going to ask you to reflect about them at your own place. And then in the second video I'm going to tell you about the current tensions that are between the US and Europe, and whether this is a serious situation, whether this is something new, or whether this is something that is happening in our history before. Okay, so if we think about our common ground, actually, we have to start from the national security strategy of the US in December 2017. It said something like the United States is safer when Europe is prosperous and stable, and can help defend our shared interests and ideals. And this is something that we already knew from the time of Marshall Plan. The whole logic behind Marshall Plan was exactly this. A prosperous Europe was going to mean a more prosperous US. However, from the current state of affairs, we can see that this is kind of changing. I mean, when we are later going to talk about tension, we might get that perception that this might be changing. However, I mean, by the end of the day, there's a lot that we share in our last class together. Together physically. We talked about all the things that bring us together. And obviously we cannot ignore that. And the bottom line here is that by the end of the day, US and Europe are meant to be allies. They have same problems, have similar challenges in the world as the ones we discussed the week before. And that's pretty much how it is. I mean, actually it's the week before. It was only a week ago that we were together having this discussion at UBO. So we do share common values. We talked about cultural values, even though Monday next week we're going to talk about culture and cultural similarities, and obviously we have similar security interests. These values result in a different, in a specific way of living, and this way of living faces several challenges that we identified in the last class. And many of these situations, many of these challenges need for comprehensive responses. The individual response from a state on its own is not enough, so we do need to tackle these issues collectively. However, we might discuss whether this is being done nowadays or not. I mean, obviously we go to the media, we'll get pictures like this one. I don't know if you can see it there in the video. If not, you can always see it in the PowerPoint that I post online. But in this picture, what you can see is Donald Trump confronting all the other allies. This was taken in a G9 meeting, in a G9 summit, and I think this summarizes really well the current state of affairs. However, what I want to tell you is that this is very politicized nowadays, even though there are a few issues that we're going to tackle later. But obviously, media and social media help escalating these issues quite a lot. If you think about issues, what I want you to do now in class, this is something you're going to be doing individually, but I think it's a good way of reflecting on what is going on in the world. Before watching the next video, where we're going to tackle 4 of the ones that I consider that are main issues nowadays and where there are tensions between the US and Europe, I will ask you at home to think about this issue. First, what would you consider an issue? What does it mean? What do you think a government or ourselves, citizens, or the media consider an issue? How do we escalate things in the agenda that they become issues? Second, how on that issue will cooperation be helpful? And I'm sure you can think logic about it. I mean, if we use the example of climate change as an issue, cooperation is definitely needed. And later we're going to talk about the tensions in that specific field. And then try to rate this from 1 to 10 on how relevant this issue is for people's life. Think about how that will affect individuals, both in the US and Europe, whether this is actually a main security threat, a main threat to our lives or not. And actually nowadays, in times of coronavirus, we kind of realize that our perception might be distorted. And this is called securitization, when we give too much importance to an issue in terms of the need for security in that field. And this is something that we study in academia, whether, for example, we talk about terrorism, we talk about securitization, and whether these threats are being over-dimensioned or not. So in the next video, you're going to try to reflect about these issues. If you have any comment, please, either post it here on YouTube or either send me an email. And we're going to continue after the break with the second half of the class when we talk about the current tensions between the US and Europe. Okay, take a break. See you later.